What's up, Dragon Brood? I'm going to apologize one last time for my audio not being great on this one. This is the last thing I had to film from the hotel room before I get to go visit family and then fly back home. Anyway, today we're playing Selesnya. Not something you really play a lot of these days that isn't super hyper aggro, but Selesnya Midrange is actually pretty good. And we get to play with some interesting cards, but particularly, this one's really happy to be playing the Wandering Emperor. I think that card's actually super good anyway, and this is exactly the type of deck that wants it because all the parts of what it does are actually really good in this list. And we get to pair it with other planeswalkers and token makers and really just go ham and be pretty resilient against a lot of decks right now. This might be one of the best decks in the format if you haven't played it, so you should check that out. But you can check it out with me while we go look at the deck list. So let's get to it. Alright, as always, if you haven't done it yet, please check out shop.ultrapro.com/PowrDragn because they support me. And if you're over there, use promo code PowrDragn, you'll save 5%, and that's awesome. Okay, so we got 4 Luminarch Aspirants, and this might look a little weird because we're doing a mid-rangey thing or whatever, but Aspirant's just a damn good 2-mana creature. That's it. I mean, that's the explanation here, not a real reason. We've got 2 Valor Stance, and this is good both on offense and defense, and it can be used a lot of different ways right now. And this is a card that can really help you have a bit of a comeback, especially if your opponent has like a Blood on the Snow or whatever. It's great for that. Creature combats, it's great for that. Maybe your opponent got a jump start playing against like mono white aggro. They got an early Aspirant. You could kill whatever the biggest creature is. It does a lot of different things. Prosperous Innkeeper helps smooth our mana, gain up some life, which is great. I'm sure that's going to be good in a bunch of matchups in this deck with token makers and whatnot. We have 3 Tangled Florahedron. One of the things I'm going to say here about the Florahedron in this particular deck is it's usually only worth playing as a creature on 2 if you already have mana in your hand to get to 3, 4, naturally, right? If you already have 2 lands in play and 2 more lands in hand, then sure, go ahead and go for it because 4 is the key number in this deck. If you can still get to 4 mana without it, it's fine. And that way, if it lives on 2, now you get to play something for 4 on turn 3, and that's awesome. Otherwise, if you still have a play, like let's say, we'll talk about the other 3 drops. Let's say you have like an Archon you can still play, or an Apparition to remove something. Then you don't really care if the Florahedron dies, right? It's like it's unfortunate it dies, but you still have a play on turn 3. So you got to take that into consideration. If you don't have that, then it's probably better to just play the Florahedron tapped on turn 2, and then have your turn 3 play while you're looking for that 4th land. So just a little strategy tip there, because I think sometimes people have trouble deciding when it's worth it to play it as a land or a creature, since it's technically mana in both modes. But that's usually kind of how I process it. Then we have 4 Wedding Announcements. Because again, this card is just fantastic. We're playing it in a bunch of different lists. You're seeing it show up practically everywhere. It can be cards, it can be token, it pumps all your other things when we're making tokens. That's great. We are playing 1 Legion Angel, and I've kind of come around to the idea as if regular creature damage, we'll say, regular combat damage is my mode of victory, and I'm playing white. If I can support 4 mana reasonably, I think it's worth playing Legion Angel anyway. Just put 1 in, put the others in the sideboard, and go for it. So that's what we're doing here. Then, of course, we're playing 3 Wandering Emperor. The card, like I said in the opener, it's just really good. All the abilities on here we want to use. We don't dislike anything this is doing. 4 Eska's Chariot, and we're going the full 4 just because constant tokens is good in this list. We have ways to pump tokens. Obviously, Chariot copies tokens. You have life gain from the Innkeeper. So we like everything going on here. And truthfully, extra tokens just buy you time sometimes. We have Yasharn, the Implacable Earth. This really helps you guarantee you get to 5 mana, but realistically, Yasharn is a 4/4 body, and that's bigger than a lot of things right now. The second part of Yasharn's ability to keep people from sacrificing things only does so much. I think realistically, against stuff like the black-red sacrifice decks, obviously, it's going to be good against that with all the anvils and stuff. Works okay against stuff like vampires that create the blood tokens and the treasure, stuff like that. But outside of those matchups, there's not a lot that it does. You're really playing it as a 4/4 and getting value out of it. And then we're playing a copy of AO the Dawn Sky. This one's actually a pretty sweet card. I mean, it can let us find some other stuff that's smaller and put those into play. But realistically, it's the when it dies, put 2 counters on everything. You know, that's one of the best things because you can create lethal almost out of nowhere. Another thing too about AO that I would remind people of is if AO takes first strike damage, say from a pumped up Thalia, because that's a real thing that happens, then your other creatures that are blocking get their counters after AO dies, which is still during the first strike step of the damage dealing step. Then you go to regular damage, but now your creatures are bigger. So that's something to figure in, that you could get +2s across the board that could really change the outcome of the fight. And a lot of times I'm going to bet your opponents are not going to see that. So keep that in mind. Just put that feather in your cap and tuck it away for later. Then we have 2 red and 7s because making big creatures is great. Copying stuff with Chariot's great. You get some reach, which is also good because we don't have a ton of that in the deck. We do have a couple of flyers though. And then we have Amarius Call. Obviously, most times going to be mana, but making angels is probably going to be good for a couple of wins somewhere along the line. 1 Cave of the Frost Dragon, 1 Eiganjo, 6 Plains, 1 Boseiju, 3 Forests, 1 Layer of the Hydra, 4 Branch Off Pathway, and 4 Overgrown Farmland. So there you go. There you have it. That's Selesnya Midrange. As always, we're going to play some games. We're going to get to the backside, talk about how we feel about the deck, what cards we would change, what matchups we think are good and bad. And today I don't think we're going to have a card spotlight for you because I'm really tired, y'all, from doing charity work for the whole weekend. But we're still going to talk about the deck on the backside. So please do me a favor. As we're getting back into doing gameplay videos, please watch as much as possible because that helps so very much. And then we'll talk with you about the deck on the other side. We are just doing a late night stream from a hotel from a charity event this weekend that I was at. Decided we still wanted to play some Magic, so that's what we're doing. All right. Innkeeper is going to open up the door for Chariot, hopefully. I mean, we're definitely not blocking, just letting you know. All right, Dispute. And they would like to kill our Innkeeper. That's good for us, because that means they're not trying to get to the 5 mana point for next turn. And we now have a lot of Chariots. All right. Now, they could still meat hook for 2 or something here and try to make life a little bit miserable. They also might not want to do anything and try to get us whenever we activate our Chariot. Though if the opponent doesn't play anything, I'm probably just going to attack with the 2 cats, is the real plan here. Okay, now because they meat hooked, I'm going to play the other Chariot. This is kind of one of those situations where everything I want to do is dictated on what the opponent does, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll keep the old one. And we'll get in there. All right. Now, they might just have another meat hook, and we just have to deal with it then. Nothing you can do if they just have it. Told you. Sometimes the opponents just have it, they just have it. Not a lot you can do about it. All right. Probably going to get something Vanishing Burst here shortly, I imagine. Just a matter of what they value or what they're afraid of. Come on, opponent. What you got? Oh, they're going through our graveyard. Oh, they have a graveyard trespasser. That's why. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And a Professor of Symbology. All right. This is also tough because there's a chance we don't cast anything and they get to flip their Trespasser. You draw a Planeswalker. Actually, if we drew... Oh, not that. That was the absolute last thing we needed to draw. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. Can't even afford to channel Boseiju, but that wouldn't count as casting a spell here anyway. Damn. Man, we had so many things we could draw there that would have been fine, but none of these are it. Okay, well. Super unfortunate. Opponent's going to get to flip their werewolf. We don't have anything else in the yard, really. They have a Ghast in there, so we're not going to lose a bunch of extra life to it. You just want everything to die? Okay. I mean, I guess we're cool with blocking. I'll take 4. Let's see what the opponent wants to do here. I'm not totally sure. I mean, we're going to try to cast a Samaria's Call, but I'm not expecting to get a ton of value out of this, unfortunately. And again, I'm still of the idea that they probably have... Oh, they wanted to draw a card, that's why. They have some number of removal cards, I'm sure, so we got to figure that out, too. Okay, they have a Vanishing Verse. That's a little bit of a bailout for us, that they didn't get rid of the Chariot, because we at least get to make another Angel here. No, we're still gonna... Yeah, we'll still get to make an Angel. Yeah. I got another wedding announcement. That's cool, I guess. Alright, get in there for 5. Copy an Angel. Don't know if that's good enough. I mean, they might have a third meat hook here, but, you know, if they do, they do. What are we going to do about it? If they just have all the answers, they have all the answers. What are my thoughts on the Neon Dynasty Championship being won by a Dungeons deck? Nothing. It was won by a Dungeons deck. I mean, do you have something more specific you want to know about other than just, do I care which deck won? I wouldn't say Dungeons are busted. That feels like we're going a bit far, saying Dungeons are busted. Okay. What do we get rid of here with this apparition? Do we get rid of the Trespasser? Do we get rid of this? I mean, we're probably going to end up in a weird spot if they have another sweeper or something, but 'tis what it is. We'll try, though. Okay. We're going to attack with just these. Alright, going to use an Iganjo on one. That's actually not bad for us. I mean, that puts them further away from the mascot exhibition. So I dig that. Alright. So I still need 2 lands now to play the exhibition. What are these little... Oh, flashy lotuses. That's what's making the noise. That's true. The event was both Alchemy and Historic, so it wasn't like a regular standard Dungeons deck one. Not that that makes it any better or worse. I mean, the players still had to play the cards, and they played very well. But just for clarity. Alright. Opponent's got some decisions here, apparently. They chose not to... This was a great card for us to draw here, actually. Very happy about that. They had the Wanderer. Okay. Wanderer buys them some time. Don't know how much time it buys them, but it gets them some non-zero amount. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. If you get a sweeper, you get a sweeper. Oh, nice. All right. What you got? Mm-mm-mm-mm. No, Frostbite, the dungeon decks are actually decent in Alchemy. I made a video with them after all the changes, and they were actually pretty solid. To be fair, though, the decks that played weren't standard. I mean, not standard, weren't regular dungeon decks. They were very kind of mid-rangey that had the dungeon element in them. At least from what I saw. I don't know about Ellie uh, Cassis's deck. I didn't look at that in detail. And I believe it's Ely. Sorry, I think I mispronounced that. All right, we've got 12 points in the air. We've got to kill at least one. Sure. Feel free to attack. I do not mind. I mean, kill one keeps you alive. Well, I guess it doesn't, because if you don't play anything else. Yeah, I was going to say, we just attack with everything still, though. Well, that's still only 9, because I could block the 2/2. And a wedding announcement. Alright, so if we do find some removal thing, then it is game over. Well, that's something. Wasn't expecting to draw that. Not going to lie to you. Alright, so we can go 4, 8, 9. They did get another blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can't do both of these. I mean, I guess technically we could plus Rin, and so if we get a land and then play the Wanderer. Do I care about the opponent being at 8 or being at 1? Also, like, do I need to kill their Wanderer? I don't feel like I do need to kill it. That's the thing. But if I don't, they get to exile a creature. So it's kind of unfortunate, but I think I have to. Okay. Now I'm just debating if I want to plus and then save for an Emperor. Like, we got to get lucky to hit a land still, but I think it's fine. I mean, making a big, whatever, 9/9's not that great because it's going to be on the ground anyway. Well, we got exactly one land, so that was important. Yeah, and I'm not going to play the other angel, so if they do have a sweeper, I could just play 2 angels back to back and make a token here. Looks like they did not get the extra land they wanted. Alright, this is looking pretty good for us. Because if they're digging for a sweeper, yeah, we'd have 3 creatures right after it. Alright, we'll keep it, I suppose. I mean, I think I'm going to play this tapped, play this too. I think I'm actually going to play the Florahedron, because even if it gets removed, we still have access to Apparition if we need it. Oh, well, against mono red, that's not a great feeling, is it? Especially after I take 3. Now I'm not so excited to play that Florahedron. I was really planning to, but I think I'm going to pass. Ah, and they had a burn spell. See? It stopped. I would have lost my Florahedron. This way, whatever they play, we can get rid of with the Apparition, and then we can consider playing... oh, well, or they don't do anything. Alright, this, oh, so this is not that at all. It is actually vampires. Alright, well, I guess we'll just take our time here. No need to get too out of pocket. Florian? I would like to remove a Florian. Oh, I would also like to remove a Nighthawk. And then I think I'll play this. Now, they might just want a 3/3 back, but that's a lot less threatening. Okay, there's the Florian. So they did have one. They were just being crafty about when to play it. Smart on them, though. I was kind of hoping to draw a land because I was thinking I could Innkeeper and then Chariot and get the extra life in the blockers. But now I think we're going to be on Yasharn. You know, maybe not. Maybe we are still on Chariot here. Let me think about this. Because we do that, play a land. We could still do that. All right. Yeah, I think Chariot's still the answer here. Actually, I guess not. We could actually just save the Wanderer and then just use that to get rid of Florian. Maybe we do that instead. Also could randomly give something first strike if the things came up correctly. Alright, we're okay with that. Like, there are many worse things that could have happened there. We're okay. Okay. Coming in. Now, we're going to probably lose the Wanderer to a burn spell here. But that's okay. We're prepared to accept those losses. We're going to target her for something? Nope, not yet. Yep. All right, no blocks. Another Florian? No, there was not. Oh. Oh. Well, that's a thing. Actually, we're going to do this first. And then we'll play Rin next turn. Maybe get a 6/6 if we're lucky, and then copy that with the Chariot. I don't think you can flash anything here that we care about. Alright. Alright, we even the life totals up to 18 all. Alright, opponent is going to attack for 3. I am going to double block. And if they want to spin burn spells, great. I am A-okay with that. That was the best way. Alright, now it's time to find out, do they have a removal card? Well, they just have red lands here, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. Opponent's at 11. And our hand's still loaded. We still have all these. Hammerstorm Predator. We don't much care about that, considering we have a Wandering Emperor. I guess we'll go ahead and plus here. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just attack and then force them to use the Predator. We could exile the Predator. Yeah, that's fine. I was just thinking maybe play Yasharn. Could play the other Chariot, but there's really not much point. All right. We're sacrificing a Chariot here, but don't really mind it. It's worth it. And now we're not, because it's tapped. Yep, that'll do it. Oh, can we? I don't know if we have a reasonable. Well, I don't know. We do have Innkeeper. I think I have to Innkeeper first though here, which kind of sucks. Oh, here comes Thalia. That's usually the only thing that's going to happen there, because if it's a aspirant, you're going to see that pre-combat, obviously. I can't really cast this yet. I need a second white source. I mean, I could use my treasure, but obviously we'd rather use a treasure for something else if we can, because we're going to be taxed by Thalia here. We're going to get rid of our Innkeeper, maybe? I mean, if we can get rid of Thalia, having double Chariot isn't bad. Ugh. Portable Hole's not great. I mean, it's good for them, bad for us. Wait, they're going after our treasure? Okay. I mean, cool. Yeah. No blocks. That's definitely not how I thought that turn was going to go at all. Okay. I'm only not playing the Florahedron because there's a chance if they're going to play one of their exile creatures, that would get us. And this way, we at least have 4 mana that if we desperately need it, we could use the Apparition or some such. I mean, I feel like we've mostly weathered the storm that's happening here, so I don't feel too bad about it. All right. We take it. We're going to hope to draw land here. Oh, that was not it. Now we have real problems. Oh, boy. We needed to land there very badly. So what do we do here? We could play the Florahedron as a land. I mean, we could also just get rid of Thalia, which makes our lives a little bit easier here. I think, though, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to go with this play. It gets us 2 life, so we can withstand another attack. And then maybe we get into some situation where we could resolve one of these other cards next turn. We'll see, though. Not excited about it. Oh, gosh. Yeah. That Thalia just kicked our butts. If I had a white land, I would have got rid of Thalia a while ago, but not being able to. I think that's kind of the beginning of the end here. We will throw this token away. Ah, yeah, we just never got there. Drew the wrong color land, and Thalia didn't let us cast our cards. That was super sad. We get to go first with some tap lands. We have double Aspirant. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Archon of Emeria is being played lately just because of the Runes decks. Keeps them from playing multiple spells in a turn. Yeah, we'll keep this though. I think we're just going to lead with Florahedron and maybe play Aspirant. Nah, we're probably going to do it. Probably Aspirant and Wedding Announcement on back-to-back turns. We'll see though. Kind of depends. Always depends on what the opponent does. Falcon Wrath. Okay. Well, if I do this, this likely gets shot. If we do this, we at least get a treasure, and then we could attempt doing 2 of these next turn. I don't know if that's that much better. Alright. We'll just let a Aspirant die. No blocks. We'll make you spin spells to kill it. I'd rather chump block that with a Wedding Announcement token. Alright. Well, as a Bloodthirsty Adversary, seems legit. Rabbit Battery, seems legit. Let's block. Actually, I kind of want to block the Rabbit Battery here. Because this has potential. Depending on what else they have, that feels like that could be worse. And we know we're going to gain a little bit of life from the Innkeeper here. As much as I'd like to save Iganjo for something, I don't think we can. Because we mostly need the life. This is funny, I just realized Archon actually stops this from working because it actually casts the spell, doesn't it? No, it just says and copy them. Oh, yeah, it does say you can cast. So, yeah, it actually stops it. That's funny. I hadn't thought about that. Alright. Getting some blockers, gaining some life. We're 2 mana away from an Emeria's Call working out for us here. We'll go ahead and block here. Alright, well, we're 1 mana away from Emeria's Call working out for us. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I was going to say, mono red, you're at 16 there. We're doing alright. Ooh, I'm keeping this, but this is not great. I'd like to draw, like, Chariot or maybe a Sharn or something here for turn 3. We'll see, though. That's not bad. The opponent want to kill this so I don't gain a bunch of life down the road? I would encourage you to kill that opponent. Thank you. Okay. Let's see if we can do something big next turn. The deck didn't quite cooperate. I think I'm going to just do this. Get a little bigger creature. It doesn't die to shock. They have to do something a little bit bigger. They could Frostbite again on this turn with another Snowland. Oh, they just GG'd us. I guess that's it. Well, that wasn't any fun. But we do have plenty of mana, so let's keep this. And it's at least playable. I mean, we could turn to Innkeeper, possibly play the Wandering Emperor if we need to. We could get rid of something with Apparition. So it's a very usable hand. The opponent could also have something that's crazy aggressive too, and this would not be all that great. But we'll see. We do have 2 defensive cards here, so I'm not going to turn my nose up yet. Okay, that's what I assumed we were going to see here. So we're going to play Innkeeper and see if we can get lucky and maybe the opponent attacks here with the Naturalist and we can get rid of it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We'd be able to get rid of it with Apparition anyway. But we get to exile it. Okay, they're going to stack some stuff up on it. We don't mind that. If they empty their hand to try to load this up, they will have a stacked hand, but we at least get rid of the Naturalist, which is a big deal. No blocks, obviously. I think here to conserve mana, especially since we have Ren in 7, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Now, they may be able to protect the Naturalist here, and that's fine. We'll just have to do something else next turn. Can we protect it? Return it to your hand. Alright. Oh, wait, what? What did they just... Wait, what am I missing? Exile target after... Oh, returns it under the... Oh, I thought it returned to hand. It's at the end of turn, though. Okay, fair enough. Well done, opponent. Well done. Alright. Good news is, we do have Boseiju in case they play like Hallowed Haunting here, which is very possible. And then, I mean, we could also Hallowed Haunting just a Naturalist, but that's not usually the play you want to go for. Alright, they are down to 3 cards here, though. Still going to have 3 cards, because that lets them draw one. Okay, I'm cool taking 3 here, and that doesn't really bother us too much. It's kind of just a game of patience here, for the time being. Ooh, got another Emperor. I guess we go ahead and just play Archon here. They only have 3 cards left, though. We've already seen 2 of their runes, so I don't think that's what I want to do. I think I am going to actually just play a Wandering Emperor. I'm going to take 3 because I kind of want to keep some value in this Boseiju. Alright. And we can block with Apparition here if we need to. I mean, they may if they have another green rune, they may trample past, but... Well, Kami can trample. That's a thing. Or are we out of enchantments? Nope, they had another one. Okay. Sounds good. If that's the worst thing that happens, that is fantastico. This is also a little bit interesting, right? Because now we can Boseiju the borrowed time to get back the Emperor to exile a Kami. And we can do that under an Archon, actually. This only costs 2. Okay, I'm down for that. It's a little bit of a quirky play. But if they're out of cards to cast anyway, we don't really care about giving them another mana. And we're still at 15 here, so we're not threatened really in any way. So we're just going to pass. This doesn't feel too bad. This actually feels okay. Alright, another Kami. Fair enough. Okay, opponent chose not to do any... Oh, now we're starting to stack up some cards here. Yeah, now we're hitting the point. I don't even know if I need to hold on to Boseiju. I might just be trying to set up to play multiple spells now. Because we can destroy one of these if they get out of hand. We can just get rid of that, get that one back. We can just play this. Whew. Now it's just a matter of how greedy do I want to be. I think we attack for 2. Unless the opponent wants to have a say in that. Could be have another Eiganjo in hand as well too, but yeah, they'd have 3 mana still to use it. And that wouldn't be the weirdest thing. Nope. The opponent's using their clock here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and attack. Alright, put them down to a whopping 23. Finally connecting for some damage here. I feel like as soon as I do this, they're going to play like Hallowed Haunting, and then I'm going to be worried about every top deck. I feel like I should be more patient here. But you know what? No guts, no glory. We're going to do this for the entertainment value. And if it is like farewell or whatever, so be it. We still have Planeswalker left over. So let's do it. And again, if they grow the Kami, we can just shoot a Kami down. So that's not a big deal. Try to block the other one. Oh, they got they legitimately, they must have a land in hand. Yeah, because now we may even just give a token indestructible. We're literally in the like still had all these territory. Yeah. I mean, what else are we gonna do? Time to attack. Get in there for 8. Opponent's not blocking it. They have a bunch of life here, so I kind of get it. We'll put this in play on white. Now, here's an interesting thing. We don't get to play 2 spells here. So when the opponent attacks, we have to choose whether we're going to... Actually, I should have waited first, because if we got like a man land here, we would rather put that into play tapped. We have to choose if we want to use the Wandering Emperor or if we want to use Valor Stance. Well, we didn't get a land at all, and we wasted 4 good spells, so there's that. All right, well, that was not great. Should have played the land before the attack anyway if I was going to do it. But either way, play that out of order, but I don't know if it really mattered. Opponent has their creature land. They're going to try to come over and fly at Renin 7, I'm pretty sure, is the plan. And we're still going to attempt to try to kill it. Though they might actually have Tamiyo safekeeping or something here. Would not surprise me. Oh, so that at us, that there, huh? I'm going to go ahead and use this, I think. Yeah, because this is cheaper to play on a later turn. Alright, we're going to try. My guess is they do have, like, safekeeping or something to protect it, but... ah, well. If they do, they do. Yep, there's the safekeeping. Alright, we're alright with that. Do we block here with both of the opponent's hands empty? So yeah, I'm willing just to do this, start clearing the way, honestly. Knowing that we're going to +1 and we're going to make Samurai or whatever, so that's fine. Oh, great, great, great. We are not mad at that, let me tell you. Alright, well, +1. Get in there for 10. Now the opponent's only 17, so these are real hits now. And then we will Chariot. Alright, we've got Chariot with removal and backup Planeswalker. We should be pretty good here the rest of the way. Yeah, sure. I mean, we may try to kill it just on principle, I guess. I mean, I don't even know if we do, actually, now I'm thinking about it, because we kind of want to just protect the chair. Well, I don't know. They're tapping out here. Is that their way of saying they don't really have much? I mean, they'll get to gain life, I guess. But if they attack, we just definitely block something with the Chariot. Yeah. Still can give the Chariot first strike, too. Yeah, alright. I mean, this seems reasonable to me. By giving the Chariot first strike, we can make sure they don't gain life here if they try to double block the Chariot anyway. And we're going to copy the big one, obviously. Alright, so they did block, split them up. So we'll just take 3, they'll gain 3. And then we don't do anything, and we just wait for next turn. Alright, here comes some commies that we're not really worried about. Yeah, safekeeping's a great card. We were talking about that like what was it, like 3 weeks ago when we realized you could protect any permanent with it, not just creatures? Okay, so they didn't even play the other commie. What's that about? Yeah, I was like, okay. I think this is a pretty safe keep. I don't see any reason to throw this back. We get a lot of choices for the order we want to play things here. I think we're going to go ahead and put this in tapped. And we can think about playing this on 2. If we get another land, we'll play it on 2. Otherwise, we might just play it tapped and lean on Apparition for next turn. Could be our plan. Alright, so we did get a land. So we're going to go ahead and gamble on just playing this. If they exile it, we won't really mind, and we'll just use Apparition to get rid of something. If they don't, then we probably just play Chariot. It's likely going to be the game plan here. Alright, they had a portable hole. Not too bad, not too bad. We may also get into a world where it's worth setting up and using the Valorous stance to kill something. But I don't think we will. I think we're fine here just getting rid of Apparition, or I mean Aspirant with our Apparition. Now it is possible they have another adversary, which is why they ran that out, so they can attack with a 3 defense adversary here, which is probably what's going to happen. And then we're going to have to play some combination of Chariots or Yasharns or something here. Probably Chariot, I think is what we're going to do. We have plenty of mana on hand, so we're not worried about that. And Yasharn doesn't really have an impact with the secondary ability here to keep people from sacrificing anything in this fight. Oh, this is peculiar. So we block. Maybe they play Valorous Stance to protect their adversary. I mean, alright, I guess if you got it, you got it. I'm fine with that, I suppose. I mean, I'd rather them use it on that than trying to kill our Chariot or Yasharn, so if it makes them waste the card there, yeah. Oh, it's an Iganjo. Alright. Don't know if that's better or worse for us, honestly. It's kind of a weird scenario to have happen, but that's fine. Alright. And we don't mind this, because we can double block something if we have to, if they do have another adversary in hand. We won't like it, but we can, and maybe we don't. I mean, we'd still be able to use Yasharn on something to crew Chariot. We're at 18. Do we even block that? I mean, I feel like we're supposed to block it. The only problem is here, let's say they have something to exile. Let's say like Brutal Cathar gets rid of a token, and we won't have anything to copy with the Chariot, and we're just trading Chariot for adversary. You know what? I'm just going to take it. I feel like we might be able to bait the opponent into trying to kill our Chariot. Since we have the Valor stance, I think it's better to just not block. Oh, well, that's pretty good too. Not going to be mad at that, let me tell you. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of an adversary here. We do get rid of an adversary. Alright, we'll go ahead and just play this then. And we will tap this and this. And we're going to attack for 6. Now here, again, if they do have an Iganjo or they have their own Valor stance, we can actually protect the Chariot by giving it indestructible. If they don't have that, then we're in great shape. Oh, they're going to exile it. Alright, that's fair. Don't really hate that either, though. It's not great for us, but we don't hate it. Unfortunately, that exiles, so this doesn't do anything. Giving something indestructible there doesn't really matter. Alright. Opponent has 2 cards left in hand. We'll see what they are. They will get to give this 2/2 a +1/+1 counter. So we're not going to be able to punch past that anymore. Not easily, anyway. I'm probably going to regret not having that Eiganjo. Oh, they actually made the summer. Okay. So that feels like they have another Wandering Emperor. Is what's going on here. There's a Redain. Well, you don't. You're not going to cast an Emperor here. So what's the deal? What are we worried about here? I mean, we could attack with everything, trade a bunch of cats, Redain survives, but that's just kind of silly. Let's just play this. We'll go get lands. And we're going to put that in tapped. And again, I'm kind of regretting not having that Eiganjo in hand. I'm not going to attack here yet, though. The other thing we have to remember, too, is we can't play Archon first and then this. We have to attack first, see if we use Valor Stance or not, and then choose to play the Archon, because, or it would keep us from casting our second spell for the turn, which is very important. We could activate this and attack, but our plans here are to play both of these cards. So we're going to kind of ignore other things here. And just attack with those. And if the opponent wants to trade for other things, they had another one. Alright, well, nothing you're going to do. When they have it, they have it. You just got to give them credit. Yep, your charm's going to go away. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, they can block across the board. Trade if they want to. Nope, they're not trading. Interesting. They chose not to trade for some reason. Alright. I would have at least attempted, I guess, I don't know, maybe they were afraid we had something to pump or whatever, but not, at least blocking with Redain seems like very cautious. And now we maybe get a shot at killing Redain, since we're going to be able to Valorous Stance it. And see if they have a way to protect it. No blocks. No blocks. Nope, they're not doing anything. Alright, let's see if we can kill it. Actually, I think I'm going to take 3. And then I'll just kill it during their end step. Okay. Mostly because my thought here is if they had another Redain, I didn't want to kill it and then just let them cast another Redain. I'd rather leave them without a creature. Okay, well, that's not doing a whole lot for us, is it now? Alright, well, we will activate this cave. We'll get in here for 3 and here for 2. And that levels things out just a little bit. We've done a pretty good job maneuvering against the white weenie deck here. Especially considering how many lands we've drawn. My goodness. We have really flooded out here, but opponent can't really do much, and they're on a 2-turn clock. Currently, we can get through for 7 next turn. Yeah, and we weathered a lot. I mean, they had some really good cards there. Get rid of the Archon makes sense. They can't really afford to attack here. So we just kill them on the backswing. Well, we'll just double block Thalia, I guess. Actually, hold on. If we don't block Thalia, we attack with everything. They block 1, 2, 3. They're only taking 7. Yeah, alright, whatever. She'll first strike 1, and then we kill her with the other one. Yep, that'll do nicely. So, you know what? We're still going to be on the same plan here. We'll have a land. Yeah, no need to worry about it. We're just going to do this. I mean, our other creature would be locked up on the ground anyway. Doesn't really matter. Alright, Hopeful Initiate. It's a chump blocker here. That's about all it's doing. All right, and this should start bringing things to a close. We'll go ahead and get in there for 3, put the opponent to 2, and then we're going to play a land, play a Ren and 7, make a big, whatever that is, like 11-11 or something. I don't know. All right. We did everything we could. All right. Got there against White Weenie. Fantastic. Well, yo, that was an interesting ride. We recorded this on stream, so we were live when we were doing this, and I had like 3 games in a row I lost right when we started. Partly, I didn't put some stuff on the side. I didn't put the angels on the sideboard or whatever, so some of that was on me. But it was like after we played those, we just like steamrolled so much stuff. I mean, I even played extra games just in private while I was waiting for stuff to load and process, and still was winning. So the deck's actually really, really good. If you haven't played this, I would recommend giving it a go. The deck is very powerful. You just have to be patient with a lot of things. But if you are patient and very technical, the deck is super good. I promise you that. But yeah, so this one gets definite thumbs up. This is a very good deck. If there was a problem, I don't know if there was a particular deck. Maybe that's why I liked it so much. I couldn't really think of a thing that I would say is particularly just a bad matchup. I mean, I guess early Thalia can be a problem depending on the draw you get. And sometimes, you know, if there's some early discard spells, I think could be problematic. But outside of those, I think we're mostly okay. And really, outside, like you really are only worried about seeing an early Thalia. You almost aren't seeing a lot of discard right now, so it's mostly okay. But yeah, like I said, give it a look. And it's good to be back doing some gameplay videos. Now, my future videos will sound and look better and be back to our normal standard. But yeah, like I said, we're doing charity weekend events here over at the HunterBurtonMemorialOpen.com. Feel free to check that out. We did a whole weekend of Modern. We did a bunch of charity stuff. And I just want to say thank you all for being patient with me. Thank you for watching my other videos that we had up. But we're going to be back in the normal rotation. So that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.